What do the nation's top chefs get up to at home in the privacy of their own kitchens? My Kitchen takes an access all areas look into the home kitchens of Britain's finest chefs to discover what they love to cook for their friends and family. Multi-award-winning chef Angela Hartnett is showing us what she likes to cook at home, making a range of delicious dishes from easy homemade tagliatelle to delicious ribeye steak with Italian-style chips. Tonight, Angela's making a meal to impress, which will lead to dinner party triumph. Succulent braised beef cheeks with creamy polenta and a show-off chocolate mousse that will blow your friends away.
So today I'm going to do a fantastic meal that you can really impress your guests with, but with the minimum of effort. I'm all about not being in the kitchen all the time when you've got people over, you know, making sure you enjoy the party as much as everyone else. So we're going to be cooking these fantastic braised beef cheeks with a beautiful polenta. Then you put straight on the table, good old family style, and will taste delicious. Okay, so we're going to start off with a touch of oil in the pan, just a little bit like that. Make sure your pan's nice and hot. We've got these beef cheeks, and it's a great cut that's really come back into sort of fashion now, because, you know, it's obviously a tougher cut, you can see, because there's more sinew in there. But what we're able to do is braise it down very slowly, and you get the full flavour of the beef cheeks. And it's obviously much cheaper than using something like, you know, fillet or ribeye or anything really expensive. You need something that is really suitable for slow roasting, slow cooking, that you can just put in the pan and leave it to sort of get on with itself, okay? Easy to get hold of now as soon as it's published in a nice fashionable newspaper, because then everyone will use it, okay? Oops, a little bit of pepper in there. It's a great dish that we've used at work as well. We started using it when I was at the Connaught. We used to put it on for the lunch menu, so it's very simple to do. You know, what we might do is serve it with some fillet of beef and then have braised pig cheek as well, so you're doing it a couple of ways. But essentially, you know, it's the same dish, okay? So a little bit of salt. You just want to see that you're getting this lovely sort of roasted effect. And that's going to really start to seal the meat in, keep all the flavour, and that's what you're looking for, okay? So once that's nicely roasted off, then just slightly remove it from the pan. Keep the same pan, don't change it. And again, a little touch more olive oil in there. The vegetables is what we call a classic mirepoix, which is the French term for basically your cooking vegetables. And you have got onions, carrots, celery and leek. And you can have a classic mirepoix, which always has carrot in it, or you have what they call a white mirepoix, which always has just celery, leek and onion. We're going to add some black peppercorns crushed into there, and that just sautés off very lightly like so. And keep them quite big, the vegetables, because it's going to cook for a good couple of hours and you don't want them to sort of go into mush. I suppose I started cooking when I just finished like college, and we all used to cook a load at college, all me and my friends. You know, we'd have, I mean, I spent my grant in the first sort of 3 weeks going to the local Peking duck Chinese and all the nice supermarkets. But we did like cooking, and then I used to work in a local pub and then a brasserie and stuff. And I suppose it's when I first started working in this place, Midsummer House at the time, for this chef Hans Schweitzer. I suddenly got professional about it and realised that I needed to train a bit more, work. When I was very fortunate, I've worked for 2 guys, Gordon Ramsay and Hans Schweitzer, that were happy to take me with very little training and just learn on the job. And I think, you know, if you've got someone who's really prepared to teach you, it's a great way to start. I must admit, loads of people did think I was totally thick when I would go, what's pomano? Oh, what's that? What's that? You know, but I think you can blag it a little bit. You don't know everything. The most annoying thing is when you go to a restaurant and everyone goes, oh, tell me what this is, tell me what that is. And I think, well, I don't know everything. So we're going to add a little bit of tomato puree. That adds as a nice little thickening agent to your stock. Just cook it out for a minute or so, because what you don't want is that sort of raw tomato flavour. So if you cook it out, it starts to roast off. Okay. And then put your beef cheeks straight back in like so. And then finally, a nice glug of red wine, just to reduce that all down, okay? Once that's reduced down, you've evaporated the alcohol, you've got the lovely flavour of the wine. We're going to add some chicken stock, bring it up to a simmer. You don't want it bubbling away, because you really do want it slow cooked. put what we call a cartouche, or basically a touch of greaseproof on, and then it does it itself. And then basically cook it for about 1.5 to 2 hours until you can cut it with a spoon, and then you know it really is soft and beautifully ready to go. So while that's cooking, a fantastic dish to go with it to soak up all those juices is polenta. And it is one of the easiest things to do. It's one of these dishes that people either love or hate. My sister went through a stage of hating it, absolutely adores it now. So we're going to show you how to make that, okay? So start off, pan of boiling water, okay? And I like to make mine quite rich, so what I do is also add some milk to that as well. I use the coarse polenta because I think it has a bit more bite to it and a bit more flavour. You can, if you want to use that instant polenta, there's nothing wrong with that, but I just think, to me, this is a much better flavour. Takes a bit longer, does work on the old arms when you have to cook it, but for me, I think it's a brilliant way to cook. So we're just going to add our milk into that. When I first started working for Gordon, I'd just left, I'd come back from Barbados because I'd been out there working. And I was looking for a job in London. I went for lots of different trial shifts. Went to Sally Clark, went to Carluccio when he was running Neal Street. There's loads of different places. But Gordon was the one I really fancied working for. You know, he was in the kitchen every day. You know, it just seemed like a fun sort of mad place to work. But also really, you saw the level of food, you saw the level of dedication. So I first started working with Gordon in his first restaurant, the Aubergine, which was down in Chelsea. And it was great because he was the new kid on the block and he had such talent in the kitchen, from Mark Askew, who's his exec chef now and runs all his restaurants. He had Marcus Ware in there at the time. There was Damien Allsop, who's now got his own chocolate company. So everyone's gone on to do fantastic things. And, you know, it was fun. It was very hard. We were 7 in the morning till midnight. You know, Gordon was there every day. You know, it was tough because, you know, it's mood swings and all the rest of it. You know what they're like, these chefs. And he bollocked me like there was no tomorrow some days. But I got off a lot better than most people, so I was quite lucky. So we've got our milk and water boiling. We've seasoned it with a touch of salt and pepper. And this is how you would make choux pastry. When you make choux pastry, it's like making a roux. And you want it very quickly to hit the sort of hot liquid and basically start to cook without it made in lumps. So the quickest way to do it is to really sort of shoot it all in like so. You're whisking at the same time. And then you avoid getting any lumps in there. And then you need to just stir it as it starts to thicken. And you can feel straight away as it starts to absorb all that milk and all the water that it's thickening. And that's why sometimes 20 minutes people think it's a bit too long, but I don't think it's a big deal at all. Why I like it, it's easy, it's simple, it's full of flavours, and, you know, and it works. And also the other great thing about polenta is when it's set solid the next day, you can use it, you fry it up, you can put it under the grill with a touch of bacon, gorgonzola or something, and it's perfect the next day as a beautiful sort of little side dish. So you can see now it's got much thicker, and it's going to get a touch thicker, but not much more. You'll cook it out now for about another 10 minutes, and then that's ready to serve. Touch of Parmesan and butter with your braised beef cheeks. To put it on for the lunch menu. So it's very simple to do. You know, what we might do is serve it with some
sauce.